All right, welcome Nothingers to another episode of the All About Nothing podcast. This is our Super Bowl Sunday episode. Welcome,
Super
Zach
Bowl.
King.
What's up, Barrett?
Did you did you forget it was a Super Bowl? It,
No,
I,
I didn't.
I'll be
I've
honest,
I,
I
I've been
almost
mulling.
did.
Oh, really?
Well,
I've
yeah.
been mulling over Super Bowl snacks, like what we have to do.
Oh, okay. Hey, if you're watching us on anything other than YouTube, go watch us on YouTube at the All About Nothing podcast because that way we can actually throw your comments up on the screen if you have any. I am Barrett Gruber. This is Zach King. Please subscribe to the show. Share it where you can. That's how we get new listeners. Also, if you could, please consider supporting us financially by visiting theallaboutnothing.com to becoming an official member and proudly calling yourself a true nothinger. We have a lot more details that we'll throw up there at the end of the show. If you can't do that, please give us 5 stars, give us a review, follow us across all social media. You can do that at links found on theallaboutnothing.com. I made these cards bigger because my vision's getting worse.
Easier to read.
Want to remind everybody the second annual, the second, I say annual, does it count as being second annual if it's only happened twice?
I think that's fair.
Okay. Second Coastal Con, March 1st and 2nd, Wilmington Convention Center in Wilmington, North Carolina. Check out coastalcomiccon.com for tickets and details. Vendors, artists, voiceover artists, including TV and movie actors Ross Marquand, Sam Witwer, Matthew Wood, Matthew Watterson, Cal Dodd, and Caitlin Robruck. You can visit coastalcomiccon.com or you can follow Coastal Comic Con on Instagram and on Facebook. Can you hear my air conditioner?
I don't think so.
Oh, perfect. ZJZ Designs. Check out zjzdesigns.com for apparel, gifts, and more new designs released regularly, including their latest designs for St. Patrick's Day featuring Liam the Leprechaun. Great designs for any season. Check it out. zjzdesigns.com. And this will probably be the last week we mention this, but because I guess after this week, well, maybe next week we'll do it. Everplay Social spring season sports are now signing up, including dodgeball, softball, bowling, multiple nights of kickball, soccer, volleyball, and cornhole. All league registration through February 19th. Check out everplaysocial.com for registration and details. Sign up now as leagues will sell out. Also, registration is open now for the through March 28th for the Everplay Masters of Putt Putt at Frankie's Fun Park in Columbia, South Carolina on March 29th. Register for now as this will also sell out. Visit everplaysocial.com. Welcome, Zach. Zachary Reginald King.
Yep, you nailed it. That's it.
you you were very excited when you messaged me the other day
Yeah.
about some things you have been finding out about your very interesting family tree and history.
Yes, I won't go into too much detail, but I've had sea captains in my family. A couple kings. A guy that wanted to be king but wasn't, and so he named his son last surname King. It's a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe a little attempted genocide.
Look, we can't defend the sins of our fathers.
No.
uh it's there's a lot in history that we may not be super fans of, we may not even like at all. And I am sure that even in my background that there are uh events that I would not look fondly on.
Let's just say over 400 years ago, someone may or may not have done the first red wedding in the colonial United States.
I think you should go into more in depth on that because it,
All
it,
right.
it leaves a lot to the imagination.
So apparently, there was a Captain William Tucker, whom I am directly related to, that uh, he was in Jamestown. Wasn't that what I said? It was Jamestown.
Yeah, Jamestown.
And I'm going to mess up this tribe's name, but I think it's called the Powhatan Indians. There was Native Americans, and they attacked the colony and killed 347 colonists. It's a lot of murder going on. So William Tucker was put in charge of negotiating with the Native Americans. So about a year later, when the peace meeting was going to start, he instead got the physician to poison the wine and killed hundreds of Native Americans and slaughtered 50 more. as revenge for the murder of 347 colonists.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I'd be super proud of that. I certainly understand.
There's like, and I said there's plaques and stuff. Like, let me see real quick if I can find the plaque.
Well, while you're looking for the plaque, I do want to mention. So the NFL
There
did
it
make
is.
the decision for the Super Bowl this week, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this. That they are going to be removing the slogan that has been in the end zone now for several years. End racism is no longer going to be seen in the end zone. Um, you
What is
know,
it? Oh, end racism.
yeah, end racism
Well,
quote.
Trump's here. It's over now, right? There's no racism's done.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, I don't. Well, I guess I look at it from two different aspects because you can say yes. Uh, I just don't know how often people need to be reminded that we'd like to end racism. So I don't know how much good the slogan was doing in the end zones because for some teams there wasn't a whole lot of time spent there. Obvious because only two teams made it to the Super Bowl. Um, but there's
Let's
the
just say it probably wasn't ending any kind of racism.
yeah,
And
because
if you needed a reminder,
yeah, because yeah, that's exactly
oh
right. Yeah, because let's just say that you are one of those people that does have a tendency of being mildly to super racist. Uh, you see that in the end zone, it's just pissing you off, right? Like, don't tell me
yeah,
what to do. I'm
everybody always like end racism. I like it.
look at all the benefits I get from this racism. Um,
A
and
lot of
then
people just the biggest one being people leave me alone.
yeah, and then if you're not someone that is typically prejudiced based on people's skin color or their religion or creed or whatever, then the likelihood is that you just looked at it and you were just kind of figuring that's for somebody else. Like,
Somebody needs this. I don't want to meet them though.
yeah, I guess I just don't I don't know what good it was doing. I understand the premise, and I really wish that it had an effect. But I think if we're being honest, it probably didn't really do anything for anyone except potentially like raise the did it raise awareness? I don't even know that it raised awareness. I mean,
I think it was just more of like the NFL virtue signaling, maybe
yeah,
that we're not part of this racism.
yeah.
Um,
So as a progressive, a liberal, I look at it as all right. So it's not going to be there. It being there or it being not there is you know the same side. What's the cliche? It's the same side. It's the different sides of the same coin or something. So
yeah, round about that.
yeah. All right. So did you find your plaque?
Yeah. Uh,
And
its
this is
headliner is Indians poisoned at peace meeting.
how many does it have? How many how many people were poisoned and expired?
I can read it to you.
Okay.
May 1623, Captain William Tucker led English soldiers from Jamestown to meet with Indian leaders here in Pamunkey territory. The Indians were returning English prisoners taken in March 1622 during war leader. Oh, this is a big name.
Oh no.
Opechet Ankano orchestrated attacks on encroaching English settlements along the James River. At the meeting, the English called for a toast to seal the agreement, gave the Indians poisoned wine, and then fired upon them, injuring as many as 150, including Opakachikakano and the chief of the Kisakak. The English had hoped to assassinate, I'm going to call him Opie because I can't say that name again, Opie, who is erroneously reported as having been slain. They succeeded in 1646.
Wow. Um.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel, Zach?
Listen, he didn't just fight. It was, using that old noodle. Being, I don't know. That's fine. fine. War is hell. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. That's not untrue, and it's such a that is such an interesting maneuver, and we've seen that maneuver made throughout history,
And Game
where
of Thrones, Walder
y-
Frey.
yeah, but even in like in actual like real history, where the king of a kingdom invites his enemies to dinner and then slaughters them. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
legitimate thing. Like there've been
You,
plenty of people that have done it.
well, and the fact that it was just happening, but I wonder if there's an earlier record of red wedding somebody in the colony.
Like a non-fictional version of it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
It,
I I have to
on the
believe it's
other side
happened.
of on the other side of things, and the reason you can find all this is if anyone's interested is familysearch.org. It's the Mormons genealogy records you can
Yeah,
go look at, and they're fairly thorough.
yeah.
But I also went on my mom's side, and sure enough, like a lot of them came over on the Mayflower. At least two of them that were married came over, and uh, someone wrote a book about that. Like their relationship was romanticized, like heavily in the 20th century. These
Yeah.
two pilgrims.
Yeah, I don't I've done a lot of the ancestry.com, where we've taken our family genealogy on my mother's side all the way back to like the 1200s, the 1100s, things like that. And then on some of the other on some of the other on my father's side, we've taken it back a pretty good distance too. But we weren't even in the United States until like the late 1800s, like 1880s, 1890s, that sort of thing. So it wasn't we weren't here during slavery, and even if we were mostly up in the Pennsylvania, New York area. And then even after that, the move south didn't happen until really until my father's parents moved to West Palm Beach, and then my mother's parents moved to Macon, Georgia. So
Mhm.
that was in the 1950s, something like that, at the
Oh
height of
yeah,
segregation.
the king's my king side has been here since the 1600s.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's I am I enjoy you finding out more and more things about your past relatives,
Yeah.
because
Oh, the one who brought the goods over during Captain William King, finding out he died in a shipwreck off the coast of England. It was his own ship.
oh jeez.
You're just like, oh, so one of my ancestors was lost at sea. Had his whole family over here. He's the reason. He's the reason that we even came to America.
Yeah,
But he was going back to get more stuff and crashed the boat.
yeah. Well, you live and learn, right?
And then the one king of Scotland that I'm directly related to is the one that lost England or Scotland to England. I'm like, I can't win here. I
Yeah.
can't win here.
There's a
You
lot
are
of
related to a king, but you
disappointment that flowing out of the Kings. I was gonna bring this up because we have a new episode of the All About Nothing podcast that is releasing tomorrow, and actually, if you're a member, that episode is available now, because if you sign up and become a member, you can go to members.theallaboutnothing.com, and you can sign up for a membership, because you get exclusive content as well. You can get access to episodes a couple days early. That's as long as I can produce them. But I sat down last week with Alex Avenger, who is I guess, I don't, you can't really call him the CEO. Basically, there's a small business here in Columbia, South Carolina. We talk about them every episode. It's Everplay Sports and Social League, and I got to sit down with Alex to go over, because now he is the sole owner of Everplay. We got to talk about just his history with it. He met his wife working for Everplay Sports and Social, and they got married just a couple years ago, as well. Being the sole owner of this and all the charitable things that Everplay Social does, as far as they in the 11 years now that Everplay Sports and Social has been around, they have donated more than $30,000. They're approaching the $35,000 mark as far as donations made. And the way that they give donations is the team that wins the championship gets to decide where where $100 donation goes to, which is a really, I think that's probably the coolest part of winning a championship with Everplays, because you get your picture taken with the banner and you get some koozies. I
Well, it's
remember.
the taste of victory that matters the most.
Is it? Yeah. Well,
Sweet,
look,
sweet taste.
you're talking to the most humble person on the planet,
Oh
who
yeah,
has
clearly.
zero ego. Uh,
I'm notoriously humble too.
yeah, exactly. Like, I am known the world round for my my humbleness.
My humility.
So, but anyway, it was a really cool conversation. I'm glad that Alex let me sit down and do that with him. He's got some plans for us to potentially commentate a kickball game here and there throughout the course of seasons to come, which I think would be pretty cool. We'll broadcast those, or we'll record them for extra exclusive episodes or whatnot that I think people would get entertainment out of, because Zach and I commentating on a kickball game should be a lot of fun, especially where we try to apply rules that are not part of kickball.
I'm
I
gonna be
asked,
Bateman's character from Dodgeball.
yeah, that'd be good.
Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. Yeah.
I asked Alex during the interview, or right before the interview started. I asked Alex if there was, if they had instituted a infield fly rule for kickball yet, and he goes, no, 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 it's too difficult to teach the officiants, the crews, the officiant crews to about the no fly rule and things like that. And I said, that's a shame. I said, because I definitely used that to my advantage one time, where I had a runner on first, and the ball was kicked up into the air. I was playing first base. The ball comes down to me. I let it glide down my hands to where then the runner on first has to run. So, you immediately tag him with the ball, and then you tag first base. That's a double play, unassisted double play. And I said, because there is no rule, they did not have an infield fly rule. There was no one to argue. I mean, the other team argued it, obviously, but it's that kickball genius that
Yeah. Your
standing
kickball
runner on
IQ is
first.
showing.
That's right. So yeah, it was a good interview. And then this week, Zach and I are going to be sitting down with the CEO and the CTO of the new Neptune app. Neptune app is going to be released at some point this spring, and it is potentially going to be uh, well, I'll just say it's a social media app, kind of like TikTok or Instagram, as far as posting videos and things like that. But we're going to have a whole conversation about that app with Ashley Darling and Chris Jones, and that's going to be a fun one. We'll release that one a week from Monday. As well, we got Coastal Comic Con coming up on March 1st and 2nd, and I'm excited about that.
We'll
Uh,
meet our friend Matthew Watterson,
yeah, we'll get to talk to Matthew Watterson again, and
our old pal, our
we'll
old
get to
chum.
we'll get to make friends with Ross Marquand, because
I'm so looking forward to that.
that is going to be exceptional.
Yeah.
We have improved our audio video recording abilities
Mhm.
for this event, so it will be considerably better than
Yeah.
it was at the last one. So. And the reason, and Zach is just hearing this for the first time, but the audio and video that we had, I went to go start editing it, and that folder is gone. And I know why it is gone. And it is gone because I made a mistake.
You lost all of our interviews.
I did not back them up properly. And yes,
I
every one
quit
of
the podcast.
them. So we'll start anew on March 1st and 2nd at the Coastal Comic Con. Don't shake your head. If you shake your head, it makes it sound like, you know, look, it happened. We have to let it go. We have to, Zach, just pick your head up. There's no reason. Look, if I can find it, if I did back it up, I will have it. But it was, yeah. Oh my gosh! And now Brock is texting me. Brock is texting me.
That you lost it. He's a little pissed too.
Um,
Oh.
look. Uh, Brock is messaging me. He said, "WTF did you do?" Yeah, it was. Mistakes were made. That's all
You
I'll
need to
say.
go on your, I don't know what apples have, but you need to do the system restore all the way back.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. And like I said, there is a possibility. Look, I'm getting Brock is messaging me. He's not messaging me on our YouTube where you could see what he's saying, but there's a litany of uh swear words in it. Anyway, Coastal Comic Con coming up March 2nd, March 1st, Wilmington, North Carolina. Oh God, he's still writing to me. Oh Lord. But that's coming up, and Zach and I are excited. We're gonna be there. Please make plans to go check it out. Coastalcomiccon.com. You'll find tickets available, as well as uh, all of the information about vendors and who all's going to be there. It's gonna be a really good time. So we're looking forward to getting access to as much as Brock will let us have access to.
That
And
means we have to interview Sam Witwer again. I'm not even over it.
No, well, okay, so but we interview Sam Witwer again this time. We will have all of the equipment that we have now, what we
And
didn't
then,
have before, and it will be
uh,
better because
uh, Storm, our whole Storm interview,
yeah,
gone.
yeah. Look, I am not happy about
Adrian
it
Hugh,
either.
gone. What a
Okay,
fantastic interview.
Brock, I can assure you that I will be backing it up after every single interview. It will get moved to a hard drive after every single interview. That is a fact. So we're gonna go
We'll be,
live.
me and Brock will be actively looking to pants Barrett during the Comic
That's not too hard to do right now. These shorts are a little loose.
Con.
Um, Look, we're very excited about coming to Coastal Comic Con this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Any comments in TikTok?
Nope.
No. Yeah. TikTok. Anyway, the whole point about TikTok, talking about TikTok, I guess for a second, is because we're gonna sit down with Ashley Darling and Chris Jones of the Neptune app this week, and this is an app that they already have hundreds of thousands of people that have signed up for. To join. Zach and I have also signed up. I got my email notification saying that my username has been secured. The podcast username has been secured. Zach will probably get his email soon, and hopefully, we'll get to jump on this thing and see how it runs. I'm hoping that when we have Chris and Ashley on this week, that they can actually do a walkthrough of what they've got ready to launch for the beta testing that's going on. So it's going
Yeah,
to
everything
be
I've read so far, it seems really, the changes that they have compared to other, social media apps are really interesting, and I can't
yeah.
wait to see it.
I think it's gonna be pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
um, besides that, yeah, like I said, it's Super Bowl weekend. I played
Oh, the
Madden.
president called for genocide.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's talk about that. So earlier this week, in what I can only assume is basically just a complete, you know, they are bombarding us
Yeah.
with so much every single day that it is we're getting so much information out of this presidency so frequently that it's hard to gather your thoughts after everything. So earlier this week, Donald Trump said in a press conference with Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime
Mhm.
minister for Israel, he basically said that the United States is going to put troops on the ground in Gaza to basically push all of the Palestinians out of the Gaza Strip. That then the United States is going to build Gaza better. Uh, it'll be the Riviera of the Middle East, which is I'm I want to say, huh? I don't. But and then he was asked, well, who's going to occupy Gaza after we've built up this beautiful resort like Gaza, and who wants to go visit a a resort called welcome. welcome to the Chateau Gaza. What is what? You're mic'd. You might be muted. But who? Yeah, who wants to go visit?
Well, welcome to the Gaza Strip.
It doesn't. It doesn't sound
It's like the
appealing,
Vegas Strip, but a little different. You will hardly notice.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
does it sound like a play? It's like it's for me. It's like welcome to Gatlinburg. Well, okay, not Gatlinburg.
Oh, dude.
Gatlinburg's pretty. Welcome
A
to
yeah.
Dollywood, Pigeon Forge.
This has this. Welcome to a place that is vehemently fought for over religious, like, just hate of one another,
Thousands of years.
thousands of years. And the fact that he said that, I think Trump only said that to just blow smoke up Netanyahu's ass. Just like, you're my buddy. What does Israel want more than anything? The Gaza Strip. Let me just put it out there and fluff them up and make them all happy and go home thinking America's like, yeah, we're gonna take the Gaza Strip. It's gonna be great.
I
That the fact that Trump makes it seem like you'll just, if you use troops, you'll be like, all right, move along, get out of here, get out of here. And the people are just be like, damn, all right, American soldiers are here. That it wouldn't be the bloodiest war ever.
I guess to the benefits of the Palestinians that are now making their way back to their homes to see what's been left after this year and a quarter war. They're going to get home, and then the Americans are going to put boots on the ground, and basically at that point we're going to be pushing everybody out. But the one benefit is that the U.S. troops probably are less inclined to just start firing on Palestinians the way the Israeli
Right.
troops do. I will say the only thing that I took away from the entire thing, which the White House did walk back nearly all of it, because they have no control over Donald Trump in front of a
No.
microphone. Like when he was saying when he was saying things, you know, his staff behind, not behind him, but on the other side
Yeah.
of the cameras and everything, have got to be just going, what the is wrong with this dude? Like,
No, they don't get to do that anymore, right?
no, you're right, and you're not wrong. But like the only takeaway, and I don't think enough people have talked about it, was Benjamin Netanyahu standing, 4 feet to Trump's right, basically standing there with this look on his face, like
Yeah.
the whole time.
He's
Like,
an asshole too. Uh,
Oh yeah, he's a war criminal.
yeah.
Netanyahu is a war criminal. He is under investigation by his own party, like
Yeah.
his own government and his own party. He is under investigation by the Israeli government for essentially corruption and war crimes and just being a complete shithead. Um,
Yeah.
but Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, is just standing there
Yeah, he does look like a jackass.
like this guy
Did you
Donald Trump is talking about invading the technically the land that you want. He's
Yeah.
talking about invading it with military troops and then building it, and then Trump says, and we're going to own it.
Mhm.
Caitlin Collins from CNN asked, well, who's going to occupy it after United States occupation? Who's going to oh, world people, people from the world. It's like, what the fuck, what?
Uh,
Like, I don't want to downplay the fact that Donald Trump is 78 years old. I don't want to make it too big. Excuse me. I don't want to make it too big either. But he's 78 years old, and I feel like there's not enough of a conversation going on about the fact that we are witnessing Donald Trump's cognitive decline every single day, because Donald Trump, and I know there are a lot of people out there that don't like to hear it, but like, there's no way this man has not contracted syphilis over the course of his life, and that syphilis is eating away at his brain. And I say that uh, as entertainingly as I can,
yeah.
because it's funny.
Did you see the reporter from Afghanistan try to speak to Trump, and she had a very thick accent, and Trump's like, "What is she saying? Where are you from?" And she's like, "Afghanistan." He's like, "Well, it's a beautiful language. I just can't understand a single
Oh
word you
yeah,
say."
I did see that. I
Dude,
did see
God
that.
bless you. Go in peace. Like, what?
She was speaking. I understood what she was saying. Like
I
I
can't
could hear her.
understand a single word you're saying. Beautiful language. Can't understand a single word you're saying.
Another shocking event, and this one actually occurred on the 8th. So this was yesterday, but President Trump is planning on firing several of the board members at the Washington D.C.'s John F. Kennedy Center for performing arts. Now, I have seen I had seen a couple artists at the Kennedy Center. John we saw John Stewart. He received the um, what's the he received an award. Uh, we saw um, dang, all these names are eluding me. Um, Sham, David Chappelle. We saw Dave Chappelle receive the an award recently. We saw uh, Stephen Colbert, but I've seen
I
Ben
thought
Folds play
I
at.
thought you I thought you said you saw the ShamWow guy there.
Oh no. But I've seen video of Ben Folds playing at the Kennedy Center several times. But always very good. There are a lot. It's basically it is a art and cultural center. Um,
It's
but
in DC.
yeah, it's in DC. Donald Trump is going to make himself the chair of the board of
Can you do
the
that?
Kennedy Center. Can he do it? I have no idea. Like we're in such an unprecedented time of trying to figure out like what happens is he issues executive orders, and the world sets itself on fire in shock of what it is that he's done. And then we have judges that come in, and the judges go, no, you can't do that. And then they file an injunction gets filed, so it
Yeah,
pauses it so they can make an assessment.
it's so asinine. There's no precedent for it, so they just have to come look at it and be like, "Can he freaking make Jello the national food of America?" I don't know. We have to like just insane things like that.
Only you can only put ketchup on steaks.
Yeah, and steaks, all steaks well done with ketchup.
Oh, shoe leather. So, this idea that he wants to make himself the chair of the board for the Kennedy Center is insane. So, question NPR asked, why is President Trump taking control? Trump is has a tangled history with the center. In his first term, he skipped the Kennedy Center's honors or ceremony when some honorees declined to meet him for a reception at the White House. He ended up skipping all 4 years, the first president ever to do that. But his post on social media platform True Social doesn't mention the back history. He says he's firing the board chairman, Carlyle Investment Group co-founder David Rubenstein, and other members who don't share our vision for a golden age in arts and culture. What does that even mean?
This is a guy that would get like if he was born in Roman time, make statues of him and stuff like that, and just make all the plays about how great he is and all this shit.
Yeah,
It's some kind of weird power move that I don't understand.
it doesn't make any sense. And if it's just because he's pissed off because one year there were several people that didn't want to meet him at the reception, and so he said,
Including
"I'm
the
not.
Eagles.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not going." Like, what?
He's the first president to sit at the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah.
It's
So Scott on our live stream says steak and ketchup, steaks and ketchup. Yeah,
that's
Donald
that's
Trump is a steak and ketchup guy.
that's called trumping yourself. Let me get my I want to Trumperize this meal. That means burn it in ketchup.
I suspect that this might be Scott, our 1,000th. That's a hard word to say. 1,000th follower on TikTok. Who
Thousandths.
I put his nothing or T-shirt in the mail yesterday. So I'm
I got
hoping.
visual confirmation, Scott. He's not lying to you.
Yeah, yeah. I took a picture of it in the mailbox, and I saw the mailman drive away with it. So
Putting
uh,
on the shirt.
yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Our postal service is in trouble. Uh, they're literally stealing T-shirts out of people's mailboxes so that they
If
have
the
clothes to
bag's
wear.
soft enough, we're opening it up. We're checking this out.
Yeah,
Wearing shirt.
it's been a really ridiculous week. Attorney General Bondi is backing a program uh, that ran afoul of Trump. So, Attorney General Pam Bondi, in some of her first moves on the job, is shifting the Justice Department's national security priorities away from initiatives that have been a source of irritation for President Donald Trump.
Oh, what were those?
Scott says that is correct. That is our friend Scott Thompson in Las Vegas, Nevada. So, Bondi is limiting criminal enforcement of foreign agents registration laws that's been used to investigate or prosecute Trump donors and allies, and disbanding a foreign election interference task force that's identified foreign meddling in U.S. elections, including in Trump's favor. Bondi signed a flood of directives within hours of taking office Wednesday, basically moving around priorities at the Justice Department and helping to fulfill a broader Trump administration push to direct more resources towards immigration enforcement. So now our Justice Department is more, I guess, adjusted for the immigration enforcement, where we literally have a department of ICE, immigration, customs, and customs enforcement. We have a department for that is doing that work. But now we're going to take our FBI and divert their attention away from things like broken laws, federal broken laws here in the United States, including election interference from other countries. And we're gonna make our FBI agents go pick up children that are believed to be illegal in elementary schools, because some states elementary schools
Yeah,
are passing laws right now to literally make the teachers call in ICE on their students, or that the teachers have to have the availability of documents to prove that someone is a United States
illegal.
citizen or an
Yeah,
illegal.
how does that even work? Like, if you're using the Trump standard, you'd be like, he looks Mexican, so come get him. Like, like, how are you supposed to do that? I don't understand. Teachers, they're like, I saw the parents, they didn't speak English. Is that you're just assuming this
Yeah,
entire time? Like Trump when he was in trouble for the Native American on the trial, and he goes, he doesn't look Indian to me.
yeah, yeah. When Trump was trying to, I guess it was because he was being denied a. I'm not
Casino,
sure. I'm
right?
not sure exactly what it was, but it had something to do with a casino, and
Yeah.
Donald Trump in I guess a Senate testimony or a House testimony, or back early '80s, basically said that that they needed to reinvestigate some of the casinos, because they're the owners of some of the other casinos that I guess were his competition, didn't
Hmm.
look Indian enough to him.
Yeah.
And I, so that was 1970s, 1980s Donald Trump.
I don't even think it was like, I think it was maybe even mid to late '80s.
Might have been. It might have
Like,
been.
that's the kind of thinking going towards immigration policy in his head. He definitely has an idea of what an American is when he says an American in his head is definitely a white dude doing, I don't know, suit and tie. Maybe it's just him. Maybe he thinks he's the model American.
I think he does think he's the model American. Like, I think Donald Trump thinks that he is the best representation of what the United States. And look, that's one of those ideas that
We're gonna lose our mind trying to go into the
I
mind of
know,
Donald Trump.
but that's one of those thoughts that, like, I hear it, and I think it, and it's like, how how do I recover from this? How do
Yeah.
I how do I try and figure out, wh- why was even that my thought? Like, uh, I have stated on this show, I would really like to be the representative for human beings when aliens come down to visit us. I would like
Yeah.
for that to be me,
Yeah.
because it's not because I think I'm the best representation, but I do think that I know others that would potentially get in line in front of me, and I think they're the worst representation.
Yeah, yeah, that's truly fair. Like, don't land in North Korea and go talk to Kim Jong Il because he's going to give you very weird way of thinking the world works. But if you just talk to Barrett,
Yeah.
if that's
Uh,
how if it's falling down all the way to Barrett, you're gonna be in good hands.
how many? How
And
many?
I'll be right behind him, going like, What are they saying? What are they doing? They saying anything cool?
How
Can
many?
I get a ride? Did you
How
ask him
many?
if I could get a ride yet?
How many people? How many people do you imagine there are in front of us as far as the representation?
At least
Over
like a
under over under 25 million, 30 million,
no. I'm
under 30 million.
when they hear we have host our own podcast, they'll probably just come directly to us.
Yeah, but everybody hosts their own podcast nowadays.
Yeah, but they don't have us on it.
That's right.
So yeah,
The I
we're
think
uniquely qualified.
in a comment on one of our social media posts, I put that we were the cornerstone of entertainment.
We are.
And
I support that. I support that full.
when I do that stuff, Ami has Ami has an answer. She said it should have. It's probably Oprah. Oprah's definitely ahead of us. You don't think so? I think
No,
Oprah's probably ahead of us.
it might be Tom Cruise. He might already know the aliens.
I'd put Tom Cruise in front of us too. I'd put
He'd
Liam
be like,
Neeson in front of us.
aliens.
There's a
Wow.
good there's a good possibility that we may just be a few people ahead of Mel Gibson in who
Yeah.
but yeah, when
Oh,
I
that's a Joe Rogan you need to listen to.
yeah,
Oh, Mel
yeah.
Gibson has lost his
and
fucking
and the
mind.
and the Fox News the Fox News interview that Mel Gibson's done over the past few weeks is he's I want to say Mel Gibson is a fantastic director. I think that he's an exceptional actor because everything I see him do, it's kind of like me for Tom Cruise. Like I enjoy basically everything Tom Cruise does. I enjoy almost everything that Mel Gibson does. Like I can't think of a bad Apocalypto was unbelievably good. And if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's so good. Braveheart, The Patriot, Get the Gringo. Like these are unbelievably exceptional movies.
You know I love you. Always have.
But Mel Gibson's nuts.
Dude, he's like Briggs from Lethal Weapon,
Yeah,
but sprinkle in just religious nut job shit.
yeah.
Just
I wanted to another one of the events of the week. Marco Rubio went to visit the president of El Salvador in one of his first State Department trips out of the country. And as the Secretary of State, this is and look, I Marco Rubio, he may be spineless. He may have
yeah.
virtually no he may have virtually no ability to speak for himself. That the only time I've ever seen him push back against Trump was when he was running against Trump in 2015 and 2016. That was it. And
Marco
since
Rubio, if
then,
he was a police officer, you would see him on like live PD, and the whoever he pulls over would just take his gun and push him over
yeah.
and drive away, and he would just be like, "Dang it!" Like that's Marco Rubio.
So the president of El Salvador told Marco Rubio that the United States could freely ship any of the El Salvadorian anyone in the United States from El Salvador illegally. That they could put them on planes and fly them to El Salvador, which ultimately we've already had that agreement for years.
Right?
El Salvador, though, has a history of extreme overcrowding when it comes to their prison system. Like I'm guessing what Donald Trump imagines that Guantanamo Bay will be for the, uh, the people that he plans on deporting into uh, Guantanamo. Basically, Guantanamo up until I don't know a month ago had 8 prisoners in it, and it's
It
really only
has
designed. Yeah, it's really only
13 now.
designed to hold like a couple hundred.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not a prison. It just happens to be a military base that has a brig. So they have been setting up Guantanamo Bay with tent cities, I guess that will be able to take on more. But the so fast forward or backwards or whatever to the president of El Salvador meeting with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and so the president says you can send us all of the El Salvadorian deportees, we'll take them and put them into our prisons. Now, that's not to say that now that there's a possibility that there may not be criminals mixed up into that. As we know, children are being deported now. Teachers, parents, eh, everyone who is here undocumented potentially could get mixed up in this, and that's speculation. I understand until we actually have proof that it's happened, then we'll be concerned more. But we know how Donald Trump systems tend to work, and that's you know shoot the hostage and ask for apology later.
Yeah.
Um, so that is a concern. So the president of El Salvador said, "Oh, also, if you want to send us deportees of other countries, you can send them to us, and we'll put them in our prisons." And Marco Rubio said, "Okay." And
You want some
then
Americans while you're at it?
it went further, Zach. If any Americans get mixed up in the deportation process, that they are welcome to send them to El Salvador, and they can join their prisons in El Salvador. Like, legitimately, Marco Rubio goes, "All right." Like, I would have assumed that Marco Rubio spoke a little bit of Spanish and understood what it was that they were conversating about, but now I have my doubts.
Fast forward 2 years, you and me in a El Salvadorian prison.
Yeah, trying to do this
Just
podcast from the prison on the other side of the fence.
no, we're
Hola,
prisoners.
everyone. Welcome to another episode of the All About Nothing podcast. Haven't eaten in 4 days. My bunk collapsed last night, and a 280-pound man fell and shattered my knee.
Christoph or uh insert Raul's been beating me with the fucking whip.
El
Zach's not
Salvadorian
here
prisons.
today.
El
He's in the
Salvadorian
break.
prison. Yeah, El Salvadorian prisons. The best diet since salmonella.
The
I
floor is made of poop. The floor is made of poop.
Scott's got a good point, and I'll put this one up here. He says, "Here's what's frightening: you may be here legally, but any proof of that is subject to change." And he's not
Absolutely.
wrong.
That's
I,
how they're gonna get me and Barrett. They just don't like what we say and put us in the
I,
Salvadorian prison.
I genuinely have some concerns that Zach and I may be on a list somewhere that we could potentially get pulled into or mixed up in this whole process. And
Uh, I
it's
suggest that you do your family tree very quickly before they erase it.
yeah, no, you're not wrong. It's it
I go back to look on there and it just says I'm from Mexico. I'm like, wait.
the Mormons got into your file and was like,
The government just erases all my genealogy. It just says I'm directly from Mexico. Like, oh no.
Zach's name has been changed to Zachary Reginald L. King.
Yeah, I'm El King. Oh, like, oh no.
I
Oh
don't know.
geez.
It's a we're in such a I told Bill this during
Parent from communist China.
mm,
Like son of
I
a bitch.
see when you say things like that, I have jokes that follow, but I'm afraid that my jokes are going to get us canceled.
Maybe we should so we don't say anything else and get deported.
Where would you prefer to get? Where would you? Okay, so that's
You
how
can
we'll
put me
wrap this
you can
up.
put me in Mexico if I had to get deported.
I would go to Mexico. I like Mexico.
I would just
I've
go like I would take a hard right to like Cancun or something.
uh I'm Ami says outsourced part of its American prison system. It's the outsourced American prison system.
Oh. System of a Down tried to warn us. They're trying to
So
build a prison.
if I had my choice of American prison system corporations or corporate, if I could pick which prison I went to as to which corporation owns it, I think my preference would be uh the Hostess cookie company, snack company.
Do
I'd
they
prefer to
own
go to
one?
that prison.
But you have to eat those pink snowballs every day.
Whatever it takes. I'm in.
Send me to the gulag in Russia. I cannot eat one of these coconut snowballs. Ugh.
Uh, what else does Hostess make? They make the ding dongs.
Yep.
Z-
And the
Zach went to the Hostess prison in Sacramento
Died,
California, and
died of a ding dong overdose.
doing nothing but eating ding dongs.
It's a double entendre. Died
Oh
of died
gosh.
of intaking of too many ding dongs.
Scott says pink snowballs. Yummy.
No.
I have not had a pink snowball, and in fact, I think the last time I had a pink snowball was when what was the movie that came out? The zombie movie,
Oh, Zombieland. Yeah, he is on the. Oh,
Zombieland. He's
he wants a
obsessed with
Twinkie, but
finding.
he finds a whole truck full of those snowballs. I'd be just as pissed.
Scott said ho nos.
Oh
I
no.
am not a fan of ho hos. That is a fact. Um,
The only like Debbie cakes I truly like are either the strawberry Swiss cake rolls. Those are delicious, and the zebra cakes,
yeah.
which are during Christmas time they turn into Christmas trees.
Who makes the who makes the brownies? They're
The
they're
cosmic brownies.
yeah, the cosmic brownies. They're like
I think that's Little Debbie.
okay, they're exceptionally thick. Uh,
Yeah, that's a
like
chew on it. Yeah, you gotta.
yeah, those
That,
aren't
now
those
I'm
aren't
thinking
awful.
that Little Debbie might have a monopoly going on. They get their own little corner of the aisle caps at the grocery store.
Yeah,
It's just all Little Debbie stuff.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Mm.
That you're not wrong. And then when you're walking out, they got the end caps right there next to the cash registers.
You only find something different if you go to certain gas stations and they have like the knockoff brand of all of those things.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Little Debbie makes the Star Crunches, I think.
Brock
Those
said
are
little
delicious.
Debbie illegally came here into the U.S. She's on the list to get deported.
Come on, Big Deborah, we're getting out of here.
Yeah, I don't think Little Debbie's been Little Debbie for decades. I think she's Big Deborah now, and
It might even be like a whole century.
you know what? Good for her, because now she owns a prison in the United States. She operates a prison for the Federal Bureau of Prisons in the United
All the
States. So
guards have to wear her outfit
stripes and
with the hat.
pigtails. All right, who's your pick for the Super Bowl?
Oh God.
Okay, who do you want to win? Who are you pulling for?
If I say Eagles, then that makes Kimmler happy. I don't want to do that.
Kimmler's already not in a good place today.
I know. I saw him. He's marooned in the middle of
Virginia.
nowhere.
At least it's a blue state, man.
Yeah, I saw that too. Um, I don't know. I kind of it's kind of one I'm watching without picking a side. I
Sure.
think I think I'd rather have um the Eagles win just because they have it with the quarterback Jalen Hurts and
I played
uh,
Madden last night and played the Super Bowl game, and I beat I was playing as the Eagles. I beat the Eagles, or I beat I'm trying to find my text message. I beat
is Saquon
Kansas.
Barkley a cheat code in that game?
He's he's fantastic, but see, I beat the Kansas
I
City
have to say
Chiefs
60,
10-69.
69-10.
Yeah, 69-10. I'm trying to. Oh well, you
There you
can't
go.
see it. Anyway, yeah, I beat. So Eagles beat Kansas City 69-10. I sacked. Uh, uh, what's his name? The dude,
Oh, Patrick Mahomes,
Patrick Mahomes. Mother pearl, I can't get his name right.
Patty Mahomes.
I sacked Mahomes like 7 times. Uh,
Felt good.
but I
The
play as a
refs blow the
rookie.
whistle every time.
No, 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 not a single flag. The only flag in the game was I faked a punt, and my punter, who was to throw the ball, ran past the line of scrimmage with the ball and then threw it. So
Yeah, yeah. You gotta. That's a penalty.
yeah, so I
What?
I'm I would rather I'm gonna pick the Eagles to win. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a close one. I think 21-24. Sorry, I think it's gonna be a close one. I think the Eagles are gonna win. And I want the Eagles to win
I
only
think the Eagles
because
could win. I don't want. I want them to win, but the Chiefs have that postseason
yeah,
season magic. Well, while we were talking about sports video games, I can't not mention, and I've touched on it with you. MLB The Show 25, which is coming out soon.
March
You can go to
18th.
college now.
Yeah, that's gonna
So,
be
and
pretty
they're
cool.
only putting in 8 teams. And I would consider that being one of the 8 teams in this game makes you one of the historically best programs in the country, wouldn't you say?
I would say that it is one of, yes. Zach's alluding to it being South Carolina. Uh,
Well,
South
there's
Carolina is one of the college teams that you can start your road to the show
I'll
in
tell
the
you all of them.
yeah. Go ahead.
So you got the Tennessee Volunteers,
Had to be
LSU
Tennessee.
Tigers, UCLA Bruins,
You gotta have
Texas
Florida in there.
Longhorns, TCU Horned Frogs, Cal State Fullerton Titans, Vanderbilt Commodores, South Carolina Gamecocks. Ooh,
Florida's not in
Florida.
there. That's
It's I don't think Florida you can consider Florida really being they get there. I mean,
they make it to the World Series. I mean,
I,
they
I
make it to
think
Omaha pretty frequently.
so. My father-in-law, when I gave him this list, I think he pulled up a good metric. These are probably teams that have made it to Omaha the most, like historically. Wouldn't you think?
I Yes, Tennessee, Commodores, Texas.
South
Um,
Carolina's been there so many times.
yeah,
The
a lot of SEC
SEC.
schools. A lot of
Yeah,
SEC
more
schools.
SEC schools than any Tennessee, LSU, Texas, Vanderbilt, South Carolina. 5 year 8 are SEC schools.
Yeah.
But I think I know why it's only 8 because I think they're gonna basically make you play. You can play the College World Series.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
That would be very cool.
I mean, if we're not going to get an NCAA baseball game yet, then this is a step in the right direction.
I don't know if we'll ever get one again, but I would totally love that, wouldn't you?
It was definitely one of the best console baseball games I've ever enjoyed. So
And you can get funny with it too. They let you do like big head mode and then the
yeah,
big bat. Remember the big bat mode? That was fun.
I look forward to the videos of the guy that makes the shortest, fattest player
Yeah.
in baseball starting out at the University of Texas.
Tennessee is like your player has diabetes already. Yeah. Cal State Fullerton's a good choice too. It's kind
Yeah,
of
that's a good
weird,
one.
but I guess it has to be the metric of who's been there the most.
That is a good one. All right. Well, you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, man.
All right.
This is the first kind of daily show I've been on.
The second kind of daily show you've been on.
Is this the second one?
Yeah, this is the second one.
I
They
listened
always
to
they always
Bill
happen on
shitting.
Sundays for you.
Yeah, I listened to Bill shitting all over Karate Kid. That was pretty good because I hate that movie too, Bill.
I don't think there's any the Karate Kid movies with with the original cast. No, not any good. They're terrible movies. And for
That's why
anyone,
Cobra Kai is stupid. I don't
well,
care.
I I didn't dislike Cobra Kai. I just I watched it because I thought it was, it was, I don't know, it was on.
Was
It
there
was covert.
anybody that you knew when you went to like high school and stuff, and they're like, I do karate, that you were like, that's so badass?
I don't remember anyone. Like, I think I may have had a couple friends in high school that may have done karate. Uh but
My friend
I
had a
don't know.
black belt in Taekwondo, and he was like, absolutely zero of this is going to help you in a fight. Like, if you're going to fight somebody, you're not like, let me harness my Taekwondo.
See,
Ah,
that's how I feel about trigonometry. Like physics,
yeah.
sure. Physics I do,
Physics all day.
all the
Yeah.
time. Trigonometry, maybe I apply a little bit with physics, but
Get your calculus out. Yeah. Uh,
I use calculus pretty frequently, I guess. But I studied applied mathematics, so that was sort of I figured out how to apply mathematics to daily life.
Fucking
But
nerd. I'm just joking. Hey, I've studied physics, and physics is fun. But
yeah,
the only reason I couldn't get so deep into certain aspects of math is it's, if you can't apply it, I am so done with it.
yeah, no, I don't disagree. All right, we'll wrap this up. So Zach and I are both pulling for the Eagles. I know Zach didn't. Zach did it in the most roundabout way possible, but he's pulling for the Eagles. So Bill, once you get out of the situation that you're in nowhere, Virginia, then you might be entertained by the fact that we're both pulling for your Eagles. And not because we don't like Taylor Swift. I like Taylor Swift
I love
fine.
Taylor Swift. Yeah, she's good.
This is a rematch from like 2 or 3 years ago, and it went Kansas City's way. I would really like to see it. I'd like to see a different game this year.
I don't hate the Chiefs either. I don't hate. I would rather have the Bills in, which I was vehemently hating on the Chiefs when that game was going on.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Josh
All
Allen
right.
still won MVP though.
That's right. We'll wrap it up. Coastal Comic Con coming up March 1st and 2nd, Wilmington Convention Center in Wilmington, North Carolina. Check coastalcomiccon.com or visit and follow Coastal Comic Con on Instagram and on Facebook. Also, check out ZJZ Designs. Their March St. Patrick's Day lineup is out. So go make those purchases so you have something to wear for St. Patrick's Day, whether you're going to a parade or a party or whatever. ZJZDesigns.com and Everplay Sports and Social. Their spring leagues are signing up now through February 19th. Go do that. It's going to do it for this episode, the All About Nothing podcast. I appreciate Zach for joining me on a Sunday morning. It makes it feel like I'm not talking to myself or responding to the crazy comments on the TikTok because they're extremely distracting. If there were any comments on TikTok, Zach was supposed to be paying attention, y'all. So
there's not. It was Gary over 70 said greetings from Fresno, California, where
Fresno,
the sun is just
California.
now
Hey,
rising.
there it is. I like Fresno.
Mr. Bag of Donuts followed the host.
Hey, fantastic. So we got a couple follows.
Yep.
Links to all of our past episodes, podcast platforms, merchandise, and social media available at our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com. And if you think our financial model of giving away free content and entertainment is silly and you're in the giving mood, why not become an official Nothinger and support the show? Members get early access to this episode as well as exclusive content. Visit theallaboutnothing.com and click on our support link near the top of the page. You can subscribe monthly at a varying level of membership tiers, or you can click on the tips link and give us a one-time donation. If you can't do that, or if you'd like to be on the show, you can join our conversation. You can call and leave us a message by leaving a message at, I'm going to have to fix these notes. Call 803-672-0533. You can email the show at theallaboutnothing.com, or you can join our Discord server. Again, links all available at theallaboutnothing.com. That's going to do it. Thanks for listening. See us next week. You all stay safe, be kind, and
keep your hands to yourself.
There it is.
So you usually get mean comments on